Hello, good evening, and welcome to Circuit De Catalunya for the 12th and final round of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League season here in 2026. My name is Edwin. Joining me in the commentary box and broadcast booth is not Tom Kent, it is Mr. Jim Cunningham there. So it's been a very, very late swapping and changing. I think Tom's busy with some important work. Well, I don't know why. I just got the call, so here I am. So race is about to go, and I believe it's Brad Verlager, English driver, on pole position with Nick Nagler alongside him, according to the qualifying sheet I'm looking at the moment.
Yeah, we'll pull up the scrolling grid here shortly. Welcome, last race of the season. We unfortunately we had a little technical difficulty here lining our commentators up, and thanks to Edward for popping in last second here to cover us. We are just finishing up qualifying, and we'll get our grid up as soon as that is done. Last race of the season, and I'm going to try to pull up some points just so we can go over.
I have got the points from the website now.
Oh, there you go.
That's
perfect. Yes. Yeah,
2026 season 1. So I believe it is with one dropped round, obviously, because they dropped 2 in the end, don't they?
Yes.
So the situation is Nick Nagler leads the championship on 391 points with 10 rounds counting, and Tony Jimenez has done 11 rounds. He has got 369 points, so he is quite a way off. That's a good, not quite 30 points, but it's more like 21 points.
I'll tell you what, let's,
exactly.
We'll go over the points as the race gets rolling. Let's do this grid because this is a big field and they're going to start fast. So
fair enough. So there's our front row, Brad Verlager and Nick Nagler, our championship leader at the moment, on the front row. That's exactly where he would want to be. On row 2, we have got America's very own Krish Patel, joined by our second place man in the championship, Tony Jimenez, with the number 1 in this car, the reigning champion, of course. Then on row 3, we have Simon Fessi and Yunus Amal. Row 4 is Mehmet Emirtassi and Stefan Dodder. Good qualifying from Stefan, actually. Row 5, Max Bartolotta and Darren Machabavunga.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I think I nailed it. If I say so myself, Ludwig Ransson, is P11 with Hugo Wolf joining him on row 6. Max Giacchino is 13th with Grzegorz Hotala alongside him on row 7. Row 8 is Kuji Ito with Justin Fields for company in 16th. Alejandro Cesna Torres is 17th with Paul LeMay in P18. Good old Paul LeMay.
Yes.
Richard Van Veen will start P19. Joining him on row 10, Scott Taylor rounds out the top 20. Miguel Angel Gutierrez is 21st with Robert Ridgway 22nd. He'll be looking to make progress. Marcelo Caruso 23rd with Paul Distelli in 24th. That's row 12. Nigun P25 with Azia Lopez Lobato P26. We're about to get going. We've got Clark Williams and Adam Telsma P27, P28 with Yokoburi and Gracie on row 15. Round out the top 30. Away we go then, and it is Brad Verlager that is trying to keep up.
By the way.
Verlager, sorry.
Yeah, no big deal.
Kind of getting named my own countryman right as they roar into turn 1, but Verlager on the outside pulls across and maintains that pole position then on the first lap. Remember, of course, it is a sort of a purple zone, isn't it, where they're not encouraged to overtake on the first lap and cause a massive incident here. But of course, Nick Nagler knows he doesn't really need to go for the win here to seal the championship. All his main rivals, Tony Jimenez is behind him. Verlager is on 348 points, a little bit further down. So a good more than 30 behind then. So it is really going to come down to how many rounds they will have to drop, essentially, because I don't know what all their worst results are. So I guess it's going to be sort of see where we see where we filter out.
Right. Yeah. And obviously you don't have any experience with these guys here, so a little bit of confusion before you come in last minute. We do appreciate it, by the way.
I think Johan Annette is second in the championship, but I don't see him anywhere on the grid.
I don't think he's here, which is shocking to me. Johan won practically every race he entered this year. that's a bit of an exaggeration, but not much.
If you drop two of the worst two results, he's on 3.66 and in second with Nagler on 3.75 then.
Right.
So, big wide moment
That's
there.
Patel.
And Krish Patel in the wall. Tony Jimenez losing out to Simon Fessi in the fight for third as well. But that's a huge mistake from Patel. Just got way too wide over the curb. And the results were calamitous, to say the least. As coming into turn one again, more slipstream happening. And Darren Matcha is in a little bit of trouble too, I think, behind Hugo Wolf, but still in the top 10.
Yeah, we are. Well, I tell you what, that is an uncharacteristic mistake from Patel. That has been. He's been pretty solid this year. Best year so far.
Look at Jimenez, Tassi all fighting over P4 now. Bartolotta and Dodera in a bit of a duel for P6 too. Here is Jimenez trying to keep the Turkish driver at bay as they go through turn 6 into sort of campsite essentially.
Yeah, Tony Jimenez, our defending champion last year, really won that on consistency and again performing.
I think Paul LeMay in trouble. Sorry, he's dropping out of the top 15 down to 20th. Had a good start, and now it's all coming undone a bit. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all right. I don't see a specific incident on him, but yeah, of course, we cover several series that Paul races in. So we got Ludwig Rance on here, moving around, battling with
Matcha.
Yeah, thank you. I'll just say Darren, and you can finish my sentence for the rest of the race.
Oh, and he taps him around.
That's
a huge accident.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Oh dear. And you've got to say, Ransel kindly just tapped him around there.
To be honest, I was looking at the timing and scoring tower when that happened. I didn't actually see it, so I will pull up a replay shortly.
We've sort of got to wait for all the traffic to clear before he goes into the pit lane. There we go, another big scalp from the front runners in this race. So, as we see a little bit of battling here with Caruso, trying to keep Nagin at bay, and Clark Williams just ahead. Lucky not to be tapped around himself there, as everybody leaves just enough room to get through turn one safely. Clark Williams in a battle with Paul LeMay.
The big gaggle of cars right here. Got Scott Taylor back here. Another countryman of yours as well.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, there is actually. This league is very much a UK or European league, obviously. There's a few Americans scattered in here, but for the most part. Back out front with Fulliger. He's walked away to about a 2.25 seconds gap right now. He's off to a good start. Nick Nagler's just doing his thing right now. I think he would just prefer that nobody got near him and he could just ride right here the rest of the way. Race. By the way, we have eliminated that horrible chicane here, and we're running the other version. So
the modern layout.
Yeah, which is great because the chicane is terrible.
Yeah, I think there's a number of drivers that probably agree with you there. As we look at Mike's.
I honestly don't know anyone that likes the chicane here. I've never heard one person say that they thought that
Bartolotta in the gravel at the final corner. That's the problem. They're coming in with such higher speed now the chicane's gone. And I think some of them are not quite used to it. Max Bartolotta being one of them. So he loses a couple of positions, but the Italian able to carry on with his black and pink car into turn one there, as we see Alejandro Cisnatore also behind, making up a place into 10th position. He's gained 7 places.
Yeah, he is
started then.
Doing very well right now. Let's take a look at
biggest
the
gainer though is Clark Williams in P17.
I probably should pull the timing and scoring up. That would probably help people at home.
Yeah, I think people are a little bit lost there.
I got so caught up in the action, to be honest with you, and just everything else. Who was that? Somebody was sitting off the road there. Yeah, who was that?
I think that was Patrick Rowlands who's gone a lap down, the New Zealand driver.
Could have been, yeah. Could have been Rowlands.
Big shame for him. I didn't even get to him on the grid because we had such a little time to go for everybody.
We got
the top 30.
But
we got the top 30. There's just another 12 today? After that.
Oh, we got
42.
42,
yeah. So it's the good old Douglas Adams number from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right. Yes.
Meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
42. It's always 42.
Oh, Bartolotta regaining a place past Sivan Dodera, and Dodera losing out to Hugo Wolf as well. Down to P8 goes the Dutchman as Brad Fulliger continues to very much control things up front for the RRS Apex, as there's the other RRS car over Dodera now exactly where he started.
Yeah,
more gravel flooding.
I tell you what, they are struggling coming out of there right
Simon
now.
Fessi's starting to catch Nick Nagler as well, which is not part of Nick's game plan.
No, be honest, he'll probably let him go. You know,
well, there's no reason to to lose everything in a collision here and let Jimenez steal the championship.
Right. But Jimenez being behind him, probably would like to keep Jimenez back there. Oh, looks like Koji Ito had a...
Oh, Robert Ridgway losing places, so Ridgway falls down the order.
There's an incident here that happened to Ito.
He's done exactly what Chris Patel did.
Sure did.
He's getting bullied out of the way behind him.
5.
Oh, this is someone basically taking a wider line. Nagler getting defensive as they come into the middle sector here.
I'm a bit surprised by that. I mean, he's a, honestly, I can't even tell you the amount of times that Nick Nagler has finished second this season. Out of 12 races, it honestly is probably 6 or 8 at least. I mean, he really has finished second like every race. Even if, so bad with names. Johan Annette wasn't even here. He still ended up finishing second. It's just been that kind of season. But again, very consistent.
You said it yourself with Jimenez. The consistency makes a big difference here.
Yeah.
But here comes Simon Fessi then. It's been a while since he's been in the top 2, I think, if memory serves. So here he comes then, pulling right to the inside comes Nick Nagler, the German defending, now pulling back to the middle of the road, forcing Simon Fessi the wrong way around. And Fessi has to wait for a better opportunity than that if he wants to do it. A bit wide into 3, but that was an accident waiting to happen if he went for that one.
I just, I'm really kind of surprised that Nick is defending this hard here. But he's
a racing driver.
Yeah, no, and that's how his season has gone. It'll be brilliant right up till it's not. You know what I mean? And then it'll be the question of, well, why were you doing that? That wasn't the smartest thing to do, But hop back here real quick. This is side by. Oh gosh. I have to say they handled that pretty well.
Yeah, 4 into 1. Somehow it works. It's Matthew Gracie right in the thick of this one with Kai Tsurumi and Darren Matchapavunga giving him a bit of trouble. As we see, Alejandro Cisnatore dropping down the field as well. Quite spectacular. I think he's dipped it into the gravel while he's spun coming out of the Camps of Chicane, isn't he?
Got some kind of alien livery on there.
Oh, it's just the word alien.
Well, it says something above it. I can't. That may be his team name, actually.
It's not listed on the timing screen, so maybe it's just a
no, he's not listed.
Community alien. Maybe he's trying to say he is an alien in terms of how quick he is.
That would be arrogant.
Well, especially given what we've just seen there, as we see more defense from Nick Nagler. That was a chop and a half.
Yeah, that was I tell you what, that's. Again, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna question the guy who's run second all season. I mean, he's fantastic.
Well, he's having fun out there, but I tell you who else is impressing, Max Bartolotta. He's just past Emir Tassi to get back into P5. He's really recovering well, is Max, in the...
He's been fast all season. He's had some consistency issues, but been really fast all season. He's overall, I would say he's had a really, really good season.
Yeah, and speaking of Simon Fessi, I was right. He's 33rd in the championship. I don't think he's finished in the better than 6th this season. So it's definitely a long time since he finished P2. Brad Fuller, of course, 2 wins this season already at Miami and at Road America. And he, of course, is, I believe, 4th in the standings currently on 348 points. So he is a very, very outside shot if something bad happens to both Nick Nagler and Antonio Jimenez behind him.
So do you still have the points thing open?
Just about with the 2 drop scores as Richard Van Veen sees the worry blocked by Atala.
At the top, click it and have both the drop scores applied.
Okay, I think that's just the 1 drop record. There we go. So Fuller is actually 348 in 3rd in the championship. Sorry, ahead of Antonio Jimenez with 2 drop scores. So Jimenez really needs a big result here, but unfortunately he's behind 2 of his main rivals at the moment, at least.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, without Johan Annette being here, Clark Williams just had an incident. Him and Paul LeMay were battling, and I think it went possibly.
It's the final corner again, too wide.
There it is.
It's the gravel.
Paul LeMay saved
just
it.
Clark. And you could tell Clark was worried about it coming back to the inside wall, and he just ended up going to the outside wall instead. So it can easily happen, but you've got to feel for Clark Williams because he's a pretty talented driver.
He is. He's had a good season. You know, he's been pretty solid. Again, it's consistency issues. That's the thing about this. There is a ton of fast guys in this league. And
are we seeing a replay of Brad there, or is this live?
It is not necessarily a replay.
Okay, sorry. Look at this though, Nagler not been given a moment's rest. He's being nagged to death by Simon Fessi, if I dare say so myself. Well, you know, if you're going to put me in the last minute late in the day, I'm going to be saying stuff like that. So
that's true.
I tell you what, Max Bartolotta is only about 2 seconds behind Jimenez now, and he's got Tassi and Dodera about 8/10, 7/10 behind him. So good little battle for P5 going on here, and they're not far off, as you can see the telltale tracks of drivers that have risked it too much in the final corner.
I think we can see Clark's over there. Unfortunately,
I can still see poor Kush Patel. I think Kush Patel's still going, by the way.
Is he?
Is he? Oh no, he's 31st. I think he might be just
highest
of our retired
Kush
drivers.
He had a wonderful season. Again, found that extra speed. Actually had a chance to beat Johan Annette, was leading Johan Annette.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, because here comes Simon Fessi. He's looking to the outside into 3 and 4. Is Nick Nagler going to fight this one? Forces again. Simon Fessi just going for the long way around. And I think he's going to find it blocked here. Anyway, sorry, I thought the move was coming there. I think Simon, a little mistake from Nagler, and up the inside into turn 9. Side by side they go. Is Nagler going to try and hang this one out? He might get the inside actually for 10. Of course, it's a much longer corner with the entry speed here. He's going to have to brake very late to pull this one off. And Nagler is very late on the brake pedal indeed and holds on to it. But Jimenez is now within a second of these two, which is not what Nagler would have wanted at all.
No, he wants to stay out of trouble. Which again, I'm kind of surprised he's just battling there out. But again, that's not me. I couldn't. I wouldn't be where he's at right now for sure. So had a fantastic season, but I'm kind of surprised that
here comes Simon. Here we go. He's side by side as they go down the straight. He's got the overlap into turn 1 if he just sticks his nose out, which he does. But the move is not done yet because Nagler knows exactly where the inside is, and he gets there first. So this is again Simon Fessi. The move not done yet. Tony Jimenez doesn't know who to follow here, and Simon has got to complete the move through 3 and 4, which he does. So there we go. Finally, Simon Fessi into P2, and now Jimenez is right with Nick Nagler. So our 2 title protagonists, near as much 2 of them anyway, fighting over that final podium spot with Brad Verlager very much in the lead by 5.7 seconds now over Simon Fessi.
Yeah, Folger's just kind of pulling away from everybody as they continue to battle back there. That battle for second.
Caruso retires. So Marcelo Caruso, Italian, in huge issue. I think he is our latest retirement then. I believe we've still got, 25, 26 drivers at least still going, and I think everybody else is out, pretty much. Or at least coming to the pits, a lap down and serve the Joker.
Yeah, let's see what happened with Caruso.
Here we go, into 3 and 4. Is it the exit here? 4, where it goes wrong, a wheel on the grass. Oh, so easy to do. And that's a pretty sad way for that race to end for the Italian, because he was running solidly in the top 20 up to that point.
Yeah, indeed, he was. I think at this point Nagler's focusing on Jimenez here, and Fessi's starting to get away from him.
Yeah, I'll tell you who the biggest gainer is now, with the elimination, of course, of Clark Williams from the race. It's Nguyen. Here he is. And he's in a little fight with Paul LeMay, who's actually just passed him. Richard Van Veen also having a great race from where he started, gaining 10 spots. And he is within a second of Justin Fields in the battle for P8 at the moment. So, yeah, there's as ever in iGPFun League, it's difficult to know where to look. But I think our 2 title protagonists, Tony Jimenez, is almost within half a second now of Nagler, who's struggling to save in a second of Simon Fessi at the moment. So at the moment, this is actually Mark Almanza is the biggest gainer, I believe, in 22nd. Though.
Yes.
So he's only got about 4 or 5 people behind him in the race. And we didn't mention this, but Michael LeMay in the 777, who's Paul LeMay's brother?
Yes,
if I'm not
brother.
mistaken.
That's correct.
Yeah, he is still running in 24th ahead of Dorian Arroyo, the Mexican driver. So good to see Michael also giving Paul, I don't want to say a run for his money, because maybe Paul is, I think, quite a few places favourite, but definitely competing, giving it his level best. There's Matthew Gracie.
Yeah, this is a nice little battle right here with Adam Talsma.
Yeah, I think Tasman's just gotten past him, actually, and trying to chase down Darren Machabavunga, who's just ahead of them then. As we cut back to the Nagler-Jimenez podium duel. There's the Scuderia...
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, I was going to say, I think this is fixing the heat back up.
There we go then, so Adam Talsma. You see Matthew Gracie go back past him, and Kai Surumi and Shuta Yokobori, the 2 Japanese drivers, giving them a little bit of trouble. Adam Talsma nearly sends the SRF into the runoff there, but braking as late as he dares to keep the 3 cars behind him. Mark Alamanza as well, a big gainer. He's right in the thick of this fight too, behind our Japanese duo here, and always that Kai Surumi looking for a move, and he's done it on Talsma into turn 4 there. Really incisive stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. Good
Just
stuff
has to
right
cover
there.
off the move into the hairpin there.
Little lock up there from, I guess that was Nakabori.
Yeah, Nakabori I think just gets away with that for the time being.
A sausage curve though tossed him there, and he's going to get run on here by Mark coming up behind him. Oh,
there we go. Alamanza to the outside as they come towards Lacaxia. Sort of elongated left-hander. Used to be a sort of tighter hairpin, didn't they? And then it returned it to the old layout, much like getting rid of the chicane. And Mark Alamanza, though, not really able to go around the outside there. It's a difficult move at the best of times. We did see Simon Fessi give it a go, though, and he did eventually get through. And Fessi, by the way, matching the lap times of Brad Verlager as all. Who was that that went in the graph? I think it may have been Matthew Gracie that did the wheel.
Was it? Yeah, maybe it was.
Yeah, Gracie's at the head of this, just ahead of Kai Surumi. I think it was Surumi.
Yeah, it was Surumi, yeah.
I thought it was one of them, and I said a gamble on the wrong one there.
Actually, I think it might have been Talsma here, really. But either way, we'll...
Cool. Well, Adam is struggling to keep them inside.
It was
Surumi, yeah. It's I think a silent T in Surumi as he's trying to go around the outside at turn 4 again. Ricobori keeping Alamanza in the rearview mirror narrowly there. Alamanza might dive up the inside into 5. Oh, I had to back out of that one quite. There's a lot of gravel on the racing line there as that's Pedro Galisteo is discovering that.
No, that's
side by side. He had a bit of a swervy moment there with Pedro, but yeah, Alamanza getting through at the Paco San Gaben, which I probably mispronounced. Just put my D in GCSE Spanish to shame. But here we go. Look at that. Galisteo. And he called him Galileo. As Alamanza goes in the gravel and loses 2 positions. Oh, here comes Michael LeMay for good measure, trying to go around the outside of him as well. But he's not got the move completed through Bank Sabadell. And there we go, Alamanza stops the bleeding somewhat. Meanwhile, Nagler's got Tony Jimenez under control to the tune of 1.3 seconds. Jimenez actually been caught by the impressive Max Bartolotta.
Yeah,
catching up by about a tenth of a second.
Chris Patel has dropped out of this, out of the battle anyway. I would have loved to have seen him finish out an American finish out the season really strong, because he really did have a phenomenal year.
You're absolutely right to point that out. But at least Chris is still going, 22 seconds down, and repaired the car, and is not giving up by any stretch of the imagination. Still 16 more laps to go. Every chance he could maybe sneak into the top 25 or even the top 20 if things get very chaotic ahead of him. As we see Matthew Gracie, our other American driver, trying to keep Oh, it's Kai Surumi's already got through. Now Adam Talsma is fancying an upper run. But here we go. Mistake actually from Kai. And that allows Matthew Gracie back through into the Paco Saint-Germain chicane. Pressing that twice as fast at nearly 10 p.m. at night. As you can tell, I've been in a lot of commentary this week. But anyway, Adam Talsma having to get defensive, and so too is Matthew Gracie again, because Surumi, swoop around the outside. Can he make that one stick? That's a brilliant move from the K2T4 driver, and I think he's very much done it as Bartolotta sets the fastest lap of the race right behind Tony Jimenez now, as Nagler is starting to catch back up to Simon Fessi as well.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him get back up there and take that or battle for that second spot again. He's certainly not done yet up there.
Yeah, neither is Nguyen. You have to, instead of fighting his way up 13 positions, he wants to get a 14th gained position because Paul LeMay is in his way.
I would love to talk to him to see, because I believe in America we pronounce that spelling as win.
Oh, okay.
It's a Vietnamese name.
Of course, because the French used to be occupied in Vietnam, so that sort of tracks historically as a pronunciation.
Did not even know that. But yeah, in America we pronounce it win. But
Hotala in trouble. That's Grigor Hotala dropping down out of the top 12. There he is. He's had a big spin coming out of the final sector here.
Yeah, big spin. That was
hit the yellow sausage curve.
Looked like Max Verstappen in qualifying. Did you see that this weekend?
I did, yes.
Oh my gosh!
The highlights mainly because I was, as I say, busy commentating on real life go-karting in Sunderland, of all places. But here come look at the battle up front.
Patel again. I think he's had another little incident. Oh, almost the same. No, just an off track. Okay.
A little bit more careful that time.
Yeah,
but Bartolotta is right behind Jimenez. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yep.
So Jimenez under real pressure here, trying in vain to keep his title hopes alive. But Nagler knows third place is really all he needs, I think.
Oh yeah, I think. What is his? According to what you're seeing there, what is his?
We dropped two results.
Yeah.
Okay, it is Nagler 375. Johan Annette not there on 366. Brad Falaga on 348 and Jimenez 343. So it's really Jimenez and Falaga fighting over P2 essentially. And I think at the moment, Jimenez, of course, a couple of points down and 4 positions further down in this race as well. So Brad Falaga is currently looking very, very good and doing everything that he needs to do to take that runner-up spot, which would be his best result in IGP, I think, to date.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good, solid performance from Brad, and
he's come a long way as well. I remember one of the first races where he qualified on the front row at Silverstone, and he was in a fight with, I think it was Lee Aberdeen of all people, and he really held his own against Lee for quite a while. And I think Jimenez was involved in that battle for a while too.
Yeah, Fulger's definitely fast. I guess I've been doing this about 4 years now, or 4 seasons now on IGP. Started out just periodically, and then last couple seasons I've been permanently, and he's really improved tremendously.
100%. Let's look at this. Very defensive from Jimenez as around the outside goes Max Bartolotta. Just trying to keep the pressure on, and Jimenez, that number 1 on his car, and you can feel it slipping away, can't he? And Max Bartolotta wants to get a giant killing feat in here. Oh, Jimenez dips a wheel into the gravel. He's looking a bit scruffy here. 13 laps to go.
Yeah, definitely. He is really, really defending hard there, aggressively.
Well, he's kind of got to, hasn't he? Otherwise, he's definitely not going to win the championship.
No, of course, but still, that's that level of aggressive defending sometimes gets rewarded in the wrong way.
Did you see there, Max Bartolotta just weaving out to the left-hand side before the braking zone and returning to the racing line? There was never a move on there. It's all just about playing a couple of mind games.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You can see Jimenez looking a bit squirrely, a bit scrappy, and he wants him to lose his composure so that he can get through without having to fight too hard. Because don't forget, Mehmet Emir Tassi is only about 2 seconds behind, and setting personal best faster than the both of them at the moment.
Yeah, well, he's back there just running in a little clean air, and no real pressure on him. Whereas Jimenez is like you said, got his just mirrors full of Max right now. Look at this battle right here.
Oh, it's Bertilla recovering. He's trying to go around the outside of the final corner. That's brave.
Yeah,
and oh my goodness. Not only has he survived it, he pulled it off.
Around the outside.
Let's hope we don't have a little controversy at the end of this one as it's free wide into turn one as JPBroadcasting.
Look at this move right here.
Oh my goodness me.
That was nice.
Bertilla having to really pull out the defensive anchors, and he pulls it off, and JPBroadcasting decides to sneak through on Lobato as well in the chaos.
Look, he's not done. That's a nice line through there too. He's going to get a good run out of here, I think.
JPBroadcasting really wants to finish in the top 15 here, and Bertilla defending well, but JPBroadcasting absolutely relentless right now. So
I love that
difficult
line
to break
that
away.
He chose through there, though. I really do. Good exit.
Let's keep also an eye on Nagin, Paul LeMay, and Miguel Angel Gutierrez, because they're all very close together. Gutierrez is really upped his times, lapping 2/10 quicker than the both of them the previous lap.
Well, that's a name, isn't it? Miguel Angel Gutierrez.
I think I've been calling him Angel. As Simon Fessi sets the fastest lap. Well, first man, the 130s. 130.985. So takes about half a second out of Brad Fluger. Actually, yeah, just over half a second. But you do sense this charge from Simon has maybe come a little bit too late if he wants to win. He has been on the podium before in IGP. It's Bartolotta to the outside into 4. And surely Jimenez is going to force him the long way around. But can Bartolotta get the inside for the downhill
That's
turn
nice.
5? Yes, he has. There we go. And Jimenez.
Big switch from Jimenez, too.
Tony looking a bit frustrated there, I think.
Yeah, I think,
Oh my goodness me, here comes Miguel Angel Gutierrez Estevez. So I've been calling him the wrong name. Justin Fields is about 5.8 seconds ahead of him, but Nagin now sees, I think him and Paul LeMay have just been passed in record quick succession by the local Spaniard here in the alien car. So certainly living up to the name on it now.
Right? I don't know. That's...
Oh, am I getting him mixed up with, I think it was Cisna Torres that spun earlier, isn't it?
Are they teammates? Yeah, let's see.
I think they're both haven't got the team on the graphics. As we see, Hugo Wolf now picking off Paul LeMay. LeMay down to P13 then. That's not good for him as Hugo Wolf picks him off.
Well, this is not Paul's specialty. These cars, he's a radical guy, extremely fast in radicals. But it's been good to see him pop in this season and run a handful of races for sure.
He hasn't had his last minute call up as I have, admittedly. But yes.
No, not quite that last minute. No.
Nick Nagler, by the way, still within 8/10 of Simon Fessi, and he's starting to match him in the low 131s. Is all.
Yeah, and just goes right by Estevez. Yeah. I can't even say it.
Again, really picked his moment there on
nice.
Miguel Angel Gutierrez Estevez, or M-A-G-E. Mage. We call him Mage.
Yes.
In a nice way. Exactly.
That's about the only name. I can do some Spanish names only because of where I live. I'm really close to Mexico, and we have a large Hispanic population here where I live. So,
May flirting with the gravel again.
I mean, you have to, though, really, around this track. This is one of those tracks that there's a lot of...
I think it was Nagin, sorry, not Paul. Sorry, it was Nagin.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, well, they're both red, white, and blue liveries, just a little different.
That's true. They're different order, though. And 9 laps to go, then. Or, I think nearly 8, then, because Brad Verlager completes another lap. 131.0 personal best lap, so Simon Fessi was able to steal the fastest lap, but it does look like Brad has got a response to make sure that he's not being caught hand over fist by the Frenchman behind him. In fact, Nagler, if anything, is sort of pushing Fessi along at this point. The gap to Max Bartolotta is 4 seconds. And Tony Jimenez, if anything, starting to fall into the clutches of Mehmet Emir Tassi, the Turkish driver in car number 13.
Taski's a good, solid driver too, man. I tell you what.
He is.
What's funny is, you know, these guys up here.
Oh, Nagler passes Fessy. Sorry, as you were saying
he?
that. Fessy in the gravel, I think, somewhere.
Oh, yeah, he's dropping. Oh.
All
right, let's
he's
go
got
back.
The gravel on the inside.
Let's go back and look at that.
So what on earth happened here?
On the curb.
Okay.
Oh, just over.
Does the rear just let go? Tried to save it, and good avoidance from Nagler. That could have been Nagler out on the spot if he wasn't careful there. But Tony Jimenez feeling.
All right, let's stay there. I am not fancy with my buttons.
It's okay. Take your time.
Oh,
the gap, by the way, between Feliga and Nagler, 7.7 seconds. Then this is the onboard. Oh my goodness. That was Nag's championship flashing before his eyes there.
I absolutely hate this saying, but if there was ever a Code Brown moment, that was it. I hate that saying.
That's exactly the sort of thing that James would say in commentary as well. So he's Hugo Wolf, by the way.
I tell you who says it a lot is Alex
Goldschmidt. Oh, yes, definitely. That's probably why you hate it. So.
Yeah. No, I love Alex. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't. A personal thing, you know, but
here we go. Mage under attack from Wolf. Here we go. Up the inside into turn 1. And the Wolf is at the door. It's Hugo Wolf up to P10. And Miguel Angel Gutierrez Estevez sees himself drop to P11. And Nguyen under pressure from the resurgent looking Paul LeMay. He's not giving up on trying to sneak back into the top 12 here.
Paul, the one thing you would say about that dude is relentless. And he has some pinch nerve issues that cause him a lot of problems, and that guy doesn't give up, man. He's a warrior. He loves to race.
Well, the two brothers racing. He certainly is showing a lot of steel at the moment here, and
so
putting on a great show.
With the actor Martin Sheen's son, Emilio Estevez?
Ah, yes.
That's actually his last name would be the same as Emilio Estevez. I can't say that one for some reason, but I got the Miguel Angel Gutierrez part down.
There we go. Oh, fastest lap from Bartolotta in P3.
Well, these fuel loads are lightening up. You know, we're going to see probably lap after lap where guys are getting faster and faster.
He's only about 2.5 seconds behind Nick Nagler. If Nagler has a mistake somewhere, you could see Bartolotta challenging for P2 all of a sudden. But yeah, Brad Feliga has really checked out to the tune of nearly 8 seconds now, as here is Fessy trying to recover ground after his spin. Luckily the car not damaged because Nagler avoided him, and he's all over the back of Emir Tassi. Can Tassi keep Fessy in the rearview mirror here? He will have to get defensive, bit wide into 5, and Fessy will have the inside for the
that's going to do it.
Saint-Gobain chicane. There we go. Tassi decides. Oh, somebody's gone off ahead of them. I think that's somebody a lap down.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see anybody moving on the timing scoring, so.
I believe that was Tony Moreno. They were just lapping there.
Good pickup there.
Yeah, saw the first blue car.
He's had a pretty good solid season, the Turkish driver.
There's quite a lot of chaos going on, sort of P18 downwards.
Yeah,
Kai Sarumi losing loads of positions. There he is, sideways into the wall out of turn 4.
All the way into the wall. At the time. Oh.
Whee! Seems to be going backwards.
Does seem to be going back. That's not. Shows him just going off track there. That's kind of weird. The right is hitting the wall, but I don't know if I get off that camera.
He must have spun it on his own. Maybe just touched the rear wheel on the grass there. Coming out of 4.
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
What it was.
Big shame for Kai. He was solidly in the top 15 there.
Oh, that was almost a really bad rejoin there. Oh, did he back it? Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know.
It's okay. Nobody saw.
Yeah, well, we'll see if iRacing decides to tell him the wing is on or off.
I mean, he seems to have not completely lost the back end, so I assume it's still on. Oh, was there a move for P6? Emir Tassi has lost another place to Max Giacchino. not talked about Max too much,
No.
but he's been solidly up there. One of our big gainers, gained 7 positions where he started his Tavsky. Made a mistake into turn 1, maybe.
That is a bright, chromy green, yellow. Well, I guess that's really like a chrome gold car, a little car that's chromed up. Reflect the sun nicely. Yeah, great run from him though. Solid, man. Six spot. He's up 7 spots. Oh, is that Tasky? That was.
It is, yes. So he's probably nursing a bit of damage from that.
Oh
He's
my
made the
gosh.
exact same mistake that we saw Kai Surumi just did.
Yeah.
Nagler now steals fastest lap 1:30.8. He's not
Wait a
giving
minute,
up
why
on.
what is going on with Fessy? He was
oh,
flashing. Must be a connection thing because he blinked a couple times on my thing. Thought that-
Fessy now catching back up to Tony Jimenez. It's a rerun of earlier in the race, isn't it? When he
It is,
overtook
yeah.
him. So yeah, that's the problem. It always
seemed
feels
to be
like these
kinda
races are
settled out up front. We got 5 laps to go. Man, this thing flew by, didn't it?
certainly has. Yeah.
Hop in here and it's over before you get started, before you get settled in good. Believe me, I know that feeling too.
Well, that's a good feeling in this case, because if I go too much later, then everyone in my house will be complaining when they're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You know, they won't hate you that bad. But we do appreciate you jumping in last minute here.
Oh, cheers, Jim. Oh, it's Matthew Gracie sees Ludovic Ranson, who's recovering from a very, very difficult start to the race.
Yeah,
To get into
unfortunate.
P20. Yeah.
Ludovic Ranson is a good driver, good solid racer.
I always sort of think him and Fessy are sort of very similar in a way, in terms of both French drivers, and both very, very, on their day, maybe capable of stealing a win or at least a decent podium if things go well.
Oh yeah, Ranson is for the most part is really consistent and runs up there in that top 10. Where's he at in points? Just out of curiosity, I think he might have missed a couple of rounds this season.
P14
Yeah.
with 2 drop scores apply.
Yeah, well, not his best
He's
season,
done-
but solid, very solid drive.
I think he's done a good. This is round 12. I think he's done 9, so he's missed at least 1 or 2 so far. Oh, so he's up beside Galisto.
There's
Up
that
the inside
alien
into
driver.
into P24. 23, sorry, he was in P24, but not anymore because Paul Distelli now occupies that position. The Swiss in car 303 being displaced into the Lacaxia hairpin.
I have to say, green, black, and white liveries are some of my favorite racing. I love. Just a random thought there for.
I try to make all my sim racing teams cars green, mainly because I thought it would stand out in this season in one of the leagues I'm doing.
How is that
R
league
Factor
going?
2.
By the way, just real quick, I know you are running that league. We talked about that.
Formula Sim Racing.
Yeah.
It's going pretty well actually. All things considered, we've got I think more than about 15 cars entered for World Championship and a pretty full pro grid. We didn't quite have enough to fill a 3rd tier, which we were hoping to run, because we used to do that in previous seasons. But anyway, and we're going to get in trouble for this. We talk too much about.
No, I just wanted to catch up with you a little bit. I know you put a lot of effort into that, and I just,
Oh, thanks.
nice to sometimes be recognized, because those jobs are kind of thankless for the most part.
Well, it's also not a paid gig either, so
Right.
you sort of got to do it because you love it. But as a president of a sim racing league or whatever. But yeah, anyway, it's good to get to leagues that have history. I'd love to see some of these drivers take part in but I think R Factor 2 might feel a bit. I mean, iRacing's getting a little bit long in the tooth these days as well, but I guess it's being updated a bit more regularly. As we see, Matcha Bavunga.
They're aggressively making some big changes behind the scenes too. The UI update they just did not that long ago.
Matcha Bavunga sort of fainting to the inside there as Nagin fights to hold on to P14 here. He certainly felt like he had a really good start, and now he's sort of starting to fall back a little bit. He's the Frenchman.
So if he speaks English or can at least he gets the message, I would love for him to message me during this off season and tell me how he likes his name pronounced. It's always been a topic of discussion. I would love to know. Just honor him with saying his name properly.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely fair, but given I was called up at the last minute, I could see
it.
it.
No, I don't know. I mean, this happens every week with, with Tom and James. I mean, everybody pronounces
yellow flag
it
for Nguyen. And him and JPBroadcasting swapping positions like crazy as Nguyen drops to P18.
Did he pick up a
telltale
slowdown?
smoke? I think
that.
so. Simon Fessy says the fastest lap, 1:30.7, and he's right behind Tony Jimenez now. So that's probably the biggest fight up front, at least in the top 10. I was going to read out, see if there's any comments in the chat. Can we get gaps on stream? Any leaderboard? So a couple of times, I think this. I think it was what you said about the fingers, isn't it? So
yeah. Well, he wants So they want intervals, gaps. That's what I like. A lot of people like the gap to leader, but to me, I just don't get the point of that because it has nothing to do with how close you are catching the guy in front of you. You know what I mean? Like I'll leave it up there for a minute, but for me personally, I want to know how far he is from catching the next guy. That was really close to a bad off track there for Fessy.
Eunice Amal is in the chat. We of course see it says too much downforce for Simon. Yeah, magnifique. And he also says it's Brad Ennett tonight, so he thinks that clearly Brad Verlega is secretly a member of Johan Ennett's family.
Right.
Or Johan is driving under a pseudonym as he starts the final lap, and JPBroadcasting forces another driver to. That's Alamanza. Oh no, it's a lap car, I think, driving in the ground.
I think it was a lap car.
There's Alamanza.
Comes Ewan on the outside there.
Gotta be careful not to tangle up with these lap cars here, especially so late in the race. You don't really want to lose a top 20 position here.
Not this far in the race for sure. Check in on with Brad Fulliger up here in the front.
Keep an eye on Fessy and Jimenez as well. 4 tenths between the two.
Yeah.
JPBroadcasting loses out to Mark Alamanza, who's by far our biggest gainer, 21 positions from where he started.
Nice run.
So very
to be honest, I don't really
never
know
give up.
Mark's name too much. I don't have the best memory in the world, but there's a lot of battles going on back here. But I mean, this is a big field, man. It's hard. It's so easy to get swallowed up by this field and not get any air time, so to speak. I mean, it's a lot of good drivers in this league.
There we go. Mark Alamanza loses position to JPBroadcasting again, but Verlega is about to complete the final lap here as the battling still continues quite fiercely then. Well, he's led from start to finish an immaculate performance, his 3rd win of the season, and it's almost certainly going to put him into the runners-up spot in the championship. Very well deserved from the Englishman. At the final corner he comes, and Verlega wins the final race of the first season of 2026 here in iGPFun League. And really, you cannot say he didn't deserve that. Nearly 8 seconds clear of our new champion. Crossing the line now, it is Nick Nagler.
Yeah, congratulations to Nick. What a phenomenal season. And I mean,
only one win at Indianapolis, but loads of second places. And this will be his 7th second place.
That's what I was saying,
season.
man. It was crazy how many times he finished second. And that's
not done yet between Simon Fessy and Jimenez. Here we go. Actually, they've only just started the final lap, so they avoided being lapped, I think. And to the outside comes Fessy into 4.
Oh, that's a nice run
right there. Trying to tuck underneath. I think Jimenez's going to go wide. Fessy gets himself up into P4, but he's going to be on the outside for the hairpin. Jimenez tries to run deep in, forces Fessy into the gravel, and Fessy loses the back end. And that could be the end of that then. Well, I think someone is going to say he's entitled to a bit more space there.
I mean, yes, but that's the last lap of the last race of the season.
Yeah, I think really Tony is probably feeling the pain of losing the championship. Look at this, Nguyen, Ranson, and Cesna Torres fighting away. Wide goes Nguyen, and Cesna Torres is going to go up the inside here.
Make contact.
Lobato leading this train at the front in the blue black. Rear wing's gone flying. And that's Ranson spinning off into turn 4 after being hit in the back. I think it might have been his teammate Nguyen that made contact.
Wasn't it him that got into the wall earlier, though? And we thought he knocked his wing off, or am I tripping? That's somebody else.
I think that was someone else.
Okay,
that was you're thinking of the Japanese driver Kai Surumi, who is out of the race.
Okay, Surumi, okay.
So I would suggest definitely lost a ring. Krish Patel sets the fastest lap as he crossed the line in P25, 1:30.731. Wow,
Chris.
and I did say if he was lucky, P25, and if he kept his head and kept at it. So good on Krish Patel.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good for Krish. Like I said, good guy and fast driver. I really look forward to seeing, because he really made a huge progression this year as we wait for the results. We still got a couple of guys that are going to cross the line.
There you go. So Paul LeMay weaving as he crossed the line there. So he seems happy with P13.
He has fun, man. He's out here. There's no stress on him in this league. He loves to go up and race.
Look at this. Michael LeMay's chasing someone with no rear wing. That must be Nagin. There we go. Is he going to steal that P27 on the run to the line? Oh, don't think he did. I think he just fell slightly short there.
Arroyo, we hadn't talked about him too much today. Love this livery. He's got the dragon scale for the Twin Dragons racing. Got the dragon scale livery. I like that.
Arroyo was almost at the very, very back for a little bit, so he's gained a couple of positions through staying out of trouble. 14 to be precise. And he's ahead of Krish Patel by 3.7 seconds. So.
All right, let's get some results now. Let's take a look at those.
Sure, let's go through the final finishing order then. So Brad Verlager takes his third win of the season to finish as a runner-up in the Drivers' Championship, but it's Nick Nagler in second. He started second. He had to fight to get back up there, didn't he? Essentially, with Simon Fessi giving him so much trouble earlier on before his spin, and it so nearly could have been a collision between those two, but for the quick reflexes and awareness of Nagler. So the German is your new champion, your first of 2026, but don't worry, there'll be a couple more coming later in the season, once the Season 2 gets underway, of course. Max Bartolotta, he ends with, I believe, his first podium of the season. Oh, no, he did finish fourth podium of the season, sorry, I believe, because he was third at Spa, Silverstone, and, of course, most recently before this at Donington Park. So that's a great way for his season to end, showing the potential that he can deliver on in the future. Tony Jimenez, he is going to have to settle for third, I believe, in the standings behind Brad Verlager. So our reigning champion has to be content with P4 on this occasion. Simon Fessi, that spin cost him second position, but he still comes home in P5 to end what has been a solid season for him. Max Giacchino, we talked a little bit about him, but at P6, a quiet race with only just a couple of overtakes. I say couple, he's moved up 7 places. So him and Max Bartolotta, the two big gainers in the top 6. But behind them, Emir Tassi takes P7. Richard Van Veen gained 11 positions to finish P8 ahead of Justin Fields in P9. Miguel Angel Gutierrez Estevez was P10, having also gained 11 places. He finishes ahead of Hugo Wolf in 11th. Scott Taylor was 8th. Paul LeMay, P13, ahead of Gregors Hotala, who had a lot of incidents. He finishes exactly where he started in P14. Our biggest gainer overall, Mark Alamanza, the Spaniard, finishing P15, gaining 21 places. So that's from 36th position on the grid. So quite the charge from him.
Yeah,
Darren Matcha takes
run.
P16 behind him, just behind him by, I think, less than 0.3 of a second over the line. Azia Lopez Lobato is 17th. Alejandro Cesna Torres takes P18. Matthew Gracie was 19th, and Adam Talsma rounded out the top 24 Scuderia Racing Forces. Pedro Galistio takes P21 with Paul Distelli right behind him in 22nd. Ludovic Ranson, messy into his race, sadly. He is 23rd with Dorian Arroyo in 24th. Krish Patel. It's a case again of what could have been for Krish with that spin at the end of the first lap coming out the final corner, but he kept at it, went from the very back of the grid to P25, so that is to be commended, and set the fastest lap too to boot. Shuta Yokobori takes P26 with Nugin, another driver that had a scruffy end to the race. Unfortunately for him, finishes P27. Michael LeMay is P28, just behind him, couldn't quite beat the rear wingless Nugin. Tony Moreno takes P29, and then I believe is behind Moreno. I think we might have our retirement. Oh no, did Ridgway finish race?
Yeah, I believe he did. Yeah.
Okay, he was a long way down, but I think he was our final finisher in P30. Kai Surumi sadly did not get to the end after having a big accident. He was 31st. Behind him, we also got Patrick Rowlands, Stefan Dodderer, Marcelo Caruso, Giovanni Salito, Clark Williams, Koji Ito, Nigel Reichert, Brandon Yang, Pete Thomas, Yunus Amal, who was running the YouTube chat, so that tells you about in the middle of the race, so that shows you he didn't get too far. And Rakim Lewis as well, also not getting far at all. So I think we had at least 40 starters, though, who did at least complete more than just the first lap. But yeah, there we go, only 30 finishers. So I say only, that's still quite a lot. There are championships that were killed for 30 starters, let alone 30 finishers. SFSR. But anyway, so
great turnouts for this, always.
A very well won championship, it must be said.
This is, you could easily won Super Formula Lights leagues on iRacing for sure.
Here we go. We got a comment in the chat from Field SY Games. Big up, Steve. Okay. Right. Remind me who Steve is again.
Well, I'm a person commenting there that called Brad Fulliger Brad Annette.
Okay. There we go. So I thought it was the driver for some reason.
I mean, I don't even know if there is a Steve in.
Oof.
I don't think so.
Not that I'm familiar with. Anyway.
But well, again, thank you for showing up here and bailing me out, because I am literally the world's worst solo commentator. So they would have been.
Oh, you're too harsh on yourself.
They would have. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm being kind.
I think I was pretty low energy, so together we made a pretty low energy championship finale.
You know, I'm, as they say, I have the dulcet tones. You know, I'm just kind of
dulcet. We'll go with that.
Yeah, that's what they say. You know.
Anyway, that concludes another IGP Super Formula Light season. We don't do interviews, do we?
No interviews.
Sorry, I'm so tired. I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget.
Yeah, no interviews. We just race them and go home. That's it.
Yeah. But somebody in the chat did ask him what happened to last week's stream, and unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you.
So I was unable to do last week's stream because I was out of town visiting the kid at university, and so they went to try to do it this week, and there was some kind of issue with the replay that it was causing computers to crash. So my understanding is they are going to eventually get it up. It just may take a little bit, but if somebody really wanting to go watch it, it will be up here eventually. I don't have an exact time on that, but I know that was ultimately the problem. There was an issue with trying to get the replay, and it was crashing the computer. So that's about all I know as far as that goes. But it will be eventually up there if it's if you happen to have a good race, or you want to see yourself or whatever, it will be up.
Yeah, I won't spoil the winner of it, but it does say on the website.
Don't do that.
Okay, so anyway,
Steve is Fulliger's dad.
Oh wow, that is brilliant. Okay,
yeah.
So the Fulliger family.
So he's giving away the family name and calling him Annette. What does that say? Sounds like he wants to disown his kid there. No, I'm kidding. Brad had
maybe
a good
instead
run,
of handing him off.
Yeah, well,
Oh no, they'll have to flee the nest eventually. But anyway, so Brad Fulliger, what a superb performance! I think it's all. Obviously, Nick Nagler winning the championship is a big deal for the German, but let's take nothing away from Brad, who himself had a really, really strong season, and who knows, he'll get a chance to get his own back in the next 2026 season. It'll begin probably whenever IGP is ready to do it in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Congratulations again to Nagler. What an amazing season that he had. Just fantastic.
Absolutely. So we're not going to interview him, sadly.
No.
So that graphic is slightly misleading.
Well, I put it up just to show him, just to show his car that he did finish first
I think that's a great way to end, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
With a new champion then. So thank you very much for watching the final round of IGP. In the first 2026 season. Season 2 of 26 will be coming, will be announced, and you'll all know about it.
But anyway, it'll be coming quickly. They don't take too much time off here at IGP for sure. So I think this week probably, and they'll probably be right back at it. Probably just a week off would be my guess.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked.
No, I think they run on the iRacing rotation, 12-week seasons, and then 13 off, I believe. They're rotating.
Good to know.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's
I'm
say
trying to
goodnight.
end the broadcast, by the way, so in case you haven't figured it out. But thank you very much for watching. Thanks for joining me, Jim. Thanks, of course, to everyone at iGP for running the event. And thanks, of course, to you watching at home. And make sure you tune in to our next broadcast here at JPB Broadcasting, because you never know, we might see you on the track one day as well. Take care, and good night.